morning, dear Woodmont United Church of Christ family. So for today's Good Trouble moment, I want to just take a moment, step back, think about what we've done over the last few months. Bruce and I were having a conversation about how difficult racism and some of the Good Trouble moments are. And I was reminded of a book that Rob Schwartz led us in a book study earlier this year about racism, especially for white people. And I would like to read a couple of chapters from that I have found very helpful, and I hope you will too. This is about racial identity development. So feel free to look that up and learn more on your own. This is particularly towards white people. So white people who have grown up colorblind may not see themselves as white. They view themselves as not having any color, just being normal. But in a society, they are racialized as white. They are seen as white by others, and they are treated as white, which historically has given them greater advantages and benefits than persons who are not seen as white and who are treated differently as a result. So what's really important here is that racial identity can help you understand your own emotions as you learn about race and racism, which I know I find very difficult. It's not exactly a map from how you get from A to B, but sort of some of the things that you will see along the way, things to expect, so that, you know, when you see that big hole, you're like, oh yeah, okay, I remember this on the map. So this can be very helpful. And the author says that the most helpful insight for her was that every time that she learned about racism and began to see herself as white, I kept feeling guilty and ashamed, and that was not a pleasant feeling. I knew I wanted to be able to talk about race and racism with other white people, but I didn't want to perpetuate the same feelings these conversations had left me with. So racial identity development, or MAP, says those feelings are not the stopping point. You have not reached your destination. These are things along the way. Feel them, notice them. Don't stop there. The journey has only just begun. So I found that really helpful. There are some other aspects in this book that are also very helpful. There's a young man, white man, who goes to a diversity training, and he's never really thought about race before because he grew up in a white family. He went to a school that was predominantly white, church that was white. It wasn't until he went to college and they were offered a day off to go to a diversity training, which he figured was a good deal. He went, and he heard some things that made him feel pretty uncomfortable. So this is going to be the next thing in our map, and then I will share the book with you and wish you a very good week. So Max didn't like feeling bad about himself. He's had pretty good self-esteem growing up. He was confirmed in his church, always felt himself as a moral guy, and he resents the idea that somehow he has been complicit in injustice, as the diversity training has told him. How could he be getting it so wrong when he's been a good person his whole life? So instead of feeling bad about himself, which we all know feels bad, he starts to have bad feelings towards the people who presented the diversity training. This is also a very typical step along the way. Don't stop there. We're in this journey together, and those feelings are understandable, but please hang in there with us and know that this is not the end. We're not here to just try and make you feel guilty and ashamed, because that's not going to help anyone. So, if you're looking for a Christmas present for yourself or someone else, I highly recommend this book, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.